Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube and welcome to the 7-year anniversary live stream Q&A. What the heck? So before we get into it, I'll give you a little backstory in case you are brand new, I guess. I don't know if anyone here is brand new. Let me know if you're brand new. I know this Marco Satsu guy in the chat, I know he's brand new. Let's see, if you scroll all the way very far down on my YouTube channel, 7 years ago, today is the day I just went, let me upload a video. It wasn't even like an actual video, it was just, hey, I'm making YouTube videos. But I'm like, screw it, that's what we're making, that's my new channel anniversary, that's what we're doing. So now I like to use this day as the day to celebrate anniversary day stuff, shenanigans, and I like doing a Q&A for it. So we're doing a little Q&A. So this year, usually I did do a stream actually. I just decided last year to do a Q&A because I think I was out of town. But so I did a video Q&A, and then this year I'm too busy to do a video Q&A again, so I'm doing a live stream Q&A. So I asked you guys like last week for some questions on Twitter and not Instagram. Twitter, Instagram's weird to ask for questions. Twitter and YouTube made some posts. Got a bunch of questions from you guys. I don't remember what half of them are, but we're gonna go through some of them. I'll stick around after. I'll take some questions from the chat as well. Probably won't be answering questions from the chat as I'm going through the pre-selected questions because that'll be a bit hard. But I'll stick around. I'll go through some of those after, and if you do like super chat, I'll either just stop and do that now, or I'll do that later. But I will answer super chats, of course. Before we get to the questions, a few not announcements, but just things to obviously take care of course. First of all, shirt. I want to keep talking about shirt. If you didn't know about shirt, links in the description. Check that out. Also in the description, all my social media. If you want to be able to participate in future Q&A stuff, although I do ask on YouTube, so like if you're here, you're fine, but I do also ask on Twitter and maybe Instagram sometimes, so be sure to check me out over there, or join the Discord server. For video stuff, last week I did my Ultraman, a few weeks ago actually, I did my Ultraman Rising review, so if you've seen that movie and you haven't seen my review on it, check out that video. Let me adjust my microphone just a second, just to make sure it's as close as it can be. Okay, Ultraman, if you like Ultraman Arc just came out. I am working on a short review for that. So be sure to check that out. I'll upload all of that early to my Patreon. So be sure to check out my Patreon if you want that content early. Also, already on my Patreon is a review of, well, first of all, a whole live stream of me unboxing gotchard stuff. So if you want that will be a video, but if you want it now, the whole thing, it's over there, in addition to a whole gotchard movie review. It's just up there. It's gonna go public in like a few weeks, I think, so right now it's just gonna be like Patreon exclusive. So if you want all of that now, only $2 and you get all that on the Patreon. If you want something now, I did upload a video on my thoughts on Kamen Rider Gav or Gavu last week, or earlier this week, I guess, depending on how you look at weeks. So that's available to watch. For Sentai, I am working on Sentai Potential King Goger. That is still a thing that's happening. I just haven't had the drive to really sit down and write what that story idea is going to be. I have some ideas, but I haven't like written out the whole thing, and then I have to go and edit it. But once I do get a recording of that, of course, that will be available on Patreon. So there's that. Before I answer questions, I'll just say hi to the chat. Who's here in the chat? Hello, Greg Brackett. Hello, Anthony Thomas Jr. Awesome shirt. Thank you. Thank you, Toa Brony. Hello, Valvarod. Just the Kamen Rider Valvarod. No way. Hello, Kurai Hikari. Thank you, Adam X ADXM, but I assume it's like Adam for complimenting the shirt. Thank you. Everyone likes the shirt. Thank you. I'm very happy to at least just have a shirt with my logo on it I can wear. And I want to make more in the future. I haven't sat down and think about anything, but I do think we do need Well, this, I mean, this is right. It's my logo, but it's writer based, right? So we do need a, a Sentai one at some point, right? Uh, hello, Captain Akumiya, Axel Synchro, Marco Satsu, Big M. No way, never heard of that guy before. Pedro Sanchez, Power Ranger Blocks, Cosmic Fury, Internet, Kentaro. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Alrighty, let's get into the questions, shall we? So I have a image slideshow here. Is that's a good size? Okay. So I don't remember what half of these are, so I apologize. I'm gonna have to sit here and I'm either gonna have to come up with something off the cuff or like sit here for a few seconds and think about it. So first, from Doc Joe, favorite Toku actors / actresses besides anyone who has portrayed Majin. And have I seen them in anything outside of Toku? So that's a great caveat for anyone, besides anyone who has portrayed Majin, because she, those actresses would be my favorite. I feel like second, the immediate thing I think of is the guy who played Gridman. And I don't know his actor name. I could just look it up right now. Gridman voice actor. Hikaru Midorikawa. I'll say he's second just because, not because he's, well, it is because he's Gridman, but it's because I first knew him from Ryu Soldier, Weisel. If anyone watched my Ryu Soldier review or was here when I was watching Ryu Soldier, that was the, like, Weisel was the guy. I was like, this is the coolest guy ever. And he still is the coolest guy ever. And then I found, like, then Zenkaiger happens and all that happens. And then I don't know what happened, but then I discovered that the voice actor of Weisel was the voice actor of Gridman, and I was like, and I'd been watching SSS Gridman at that point, or I'd seen it, so I was like, what, the coolest guy ever, Weisel and Gridman. And then I went through his other voiceography, filmography, and he's in a bunch of anime. I know there's like a Gundam show in there or something. I don't even know what half of the anime he's in are. All I know is that he's also Mirror Knight from Ultraman. He's part of Zero's crew. He's the green guy. And he's also Nega Deno, the purple Deno from the very bad Deno movie. He's not the greatest character in that, but he's still created this crazy trilogy, or not trilogy, like he's a Kamen Rider, he's a Sentai villain, he's an Ultraman adjacent character, and then he's like an in-betweener because he's Gridman. So he's like this crazy amalgamation of stuff, so that's pretty cool. I guess if that's my favorite actor, second favorite actress that's not a Majin actress would, I guess, be Sonogo's actress, because she's pretty cool. And if you take out the cool, that also applies. Next, thoughts on the Boonboomger toy line so far, from I'm Hare Hunter. I don't have any of the Boonboomger toys, but so this is just going from a pure visual, what I'm looking at perspective. They're pretty cool. I love the changers don't need a gimmick, but we still have the cars functioning as a gimmick. I think that's a really neat in-between, because usually every time, if we have a gimmick, it's part of the transformation. You need that for the transformation. But you could just buy the Boom Boom Changer. It doesn't come with any gimmicks, and you get the whole transformation sequence for everyone. But if you want to do like the summoning, and if you want to do other stuff, you need the cars. So the cars are still useful. They are still a thing in the show. But like, you don't need them for the changers. I think that's pretty cool. I also like the mechas are pretty cool too. I really like the like the way the cars are just kind of, they can slot into the arms and onto the head and like everywhere and stuff. It reminds me of like Zord Builder and stuff. I think that's really cool, especially to the way it's being used in the show. Like the, like what are some we're getting like random combos in the show, which makes the toys more fun as well, because you can do random combos and like this is stuff that happens. I'm trying to think. I think we got one with Dozer. Not Dozer, the shovel. The shovel went on the arm, I think, in one, but it didn't make the head, which is very weird. Like, I didn't think they would ever do that, but they did do that. So, unless I'm misremembering, so someone please tell me if I'm doing this right or wrong. But I'm pretty sure we got one where the shovel's on the arm, and the cars are, and then we get the police car guns, and I thought that was really cool. And we get like the blue and yellow car, like the fists, but they're closed up because one of the toys can't open up. I thought that was pretty cool. So I really like the way the show's playing with the different combos as well. And now we're getting the fire truck, and they released like a video yesterday, and they showed like if you put the fire truck as a lion, you can stick a bunch of things on it, and then like, they made like a weird kaiju monster thing out of the fire truck, which is pretty cool. And then they attach it to the robot, and you can still attach even more things on it. So I really like that the mecha toy line is pretty cool. Next from Wayfinder 2039, thoughts on Boon Red's new form. 2 Boonboomger questions back to back. The new Boon Red form looks awesome. I love it. The red and black red undersuit thing looks really sick. The armor is cool. The helmet is like, I'm used to the Boonboomger weird helmet, so I don't even like, it's not even a thing in my head like, oh, that's a weird helmet. That's just like, yeah, that's what I was expecting that to look like. I'm used to the weird helmets for Boonboomger. But so that's kind of like, I don't even address that. But other than that, looks very cool. I can't wait to see it in the show. The gun is weird though. Or no, the gun is fine like in the show. It looks a little weird, whatever. The toy is weird though. Going back to the previous question, like the gun toy is too small. I know the toys are always a little small, but it's absurdly small. Like the guy in the demo can't even grip the handle all the way. And like even like I understand they probably can't make it as big as it is in the show, but just the tiny grip handle is like no. Any tips to overcome toku or burnout in general from, I don't think I'm gonna say this right, Vinesh. We'll go with that. So Toku burnout, I feel like Toku burnout, I mean, you could just stop watching Toku for like a few days and then you come back and you're like, oh, we're so back. Or you could even switch shows. Just like if you're getting burnt out of Sentai, you could just watch like a couple episodes of Kamen Rider and now you go back to Sentai and it's completely different. You could even watch a different Sentai, it's probably completely different. So you just switch shows. Burnout in general from stuff, I feel like I would just say the same advice, really. It's a little hard because it's like if you're burnt out of like your job, like I mean, you kind of have to keep going to that. You can't just stop doing that. I mean, obviously the best thing would just be like go home and spend the weekend doing nothing, just play games all day or hang out with your friends all day. But I feel like most people do that. I don't manage burnout and work stuff very well either, so maybe I'm not the best person to be giving this advice. But that's just my opinion. At least the Toku one, I'm pretty confident with that. Like if you're getting burnt out of like Sentai, just switch to like Kamen Rider for like a week and then go back to Sentai. It's like wonderful once again. What's my favorite cast out of the Toku shows that I've seen from Pi? I think off the top of my head, I really like the Zenkaiger cast. Like all of them are pretty cool. I really like Geats' cast as well, just because like the show did such a good job, at least the main 4, like the show did such a good job of balancing focus between all of them. I feel like they all have arcs, have development and stuff throughout the whole show, which like I can't even say Zenkaiger really had that, even though it's a Sentai. I feel like Sentai usually does a better job at balancing focus. Not to say, I'm not trying to dog on Zenkaiger, but so maybe I'll go with Geats. Maybe that's a little recency bias, though. I mean, that obvious other answer for me is X-Aid, but I feel like even X-Aid, like, I mean, it has equal, pretty standard distributed focus, but I feel like just Geats did a really good job with that. Kita B-Man asks, have I ever debated changing my channel name and mascot at any point, or have I always been set on Thomas Jujube? I have pretty much always been set on Thomas Jujube, just because that's kind of the name I've always been using for stuff. Like I think ever since I was a child, I always wanted to be Thomas Jujube. I've just always been using that name just because it came from my family that just called me that. I did briefly when I was younger use like a different pseudonym I think I called it Lego Transformer, but I shortened it to LTF, and I used that to make like stop motion videos. That's like what I put in those. I said like LTF Productions or something like that. But I would never switch to that again now these days. I think, I mean, once I'd made YouTube videos, I'm Thomas Jujube. I'm like, yeah, we're sticking with that. That's fun. I like that. And then the mascot too. Well, Muteki wasn't always the mascot, right? It was only once I drew that shitty little drawing. But then once I had that, then I was pretty like, this is pretty, because I think the idea was, if anyone remembers the horrible one that initially was, I had the Muteki to represent Kamen Rider, and then I had like red, blue, yellow stripes to for like Sentai and Power Rangers. Or no, actually that was just for Sentai. Then I had like the weird 2017 movie like sparkle effect on some parts, which looks really bad. But that was the idea with that. That would be Power Rangers. And then on the shoulders I had the Autobot and Decepticon logos. So that was kind of meant to represent all of that in like one. And then I think when I made the redesign, then I slimmed it down from, I think I kept the red, blue, yellow for sure. I don't remember if the Autobot and Decepticon logos are still on. And then once I switched to the figure art red mascot, then I just kind of slimmed everything down to just red Muteki and went with that. Like, I mean, if you Toku mascot character, you probably can assume I make like Sentai videos as well. So it was better to just slim it down to just the one character. And I think the sword, I haven't used a sword avatar in a while, but I recolored the key slasher to be like red, blue, yellow to like keep the Sentai influence a bit. Usago asks, what's a fanfic level idea I'd want to see outsiders tackle, and what kind of sandwich do I like? I usually like roast beef with provolone cheese and lettuce. But if I go to a local sandwich joint, I'll also get I think I get like Philly cheesesteak with provolone. But there's no way I'm making that at home, so that's like a restaurant only thing. Outsiders fanfic idea. I mean, they've already done the 2 X8 fanfiction ideas, which was Genmu Muteki form, and then they just did it again. They did it twice. As for, so I guess besides, I mean, they already did like Disaster Rider 2. I feel like I want them to do, before Evil X was shown off, I wanted the build thing to be like Mad Rogue versus Rogue and give one or both of them a new form, or the same form, I don't know. Just because I think they said they considered doing that as a V Cinema thing. So it'd be cool if Outsiders just did that. But now that we have Evil X, now I don't want so much build in there. Even though I like build, it's nice that Outsiders like grabbed so much from different seasons. So now I don't know, just try to do like some insane thing, like, oh, this one thing from this one season is actually like I don't know. Let's see, bring in Gotchard, not Gotchard the writer, but let's do a Gotchard thing and then say it's like connected to Blade somehow. Or I guess Garen's already in there. So yeah, you could just say like the Chemi cards were based off of Rao's cards or something like that. Or like they're say the Chemi cards were made from like Ryuki and Rao's cards like blended together or something. Like do something something stupid like that. My favorite Sentai versus my favorite rider, who's winning. So this would be like Majin versus like either like a Geats rider that's like Geats himself is like a god, or X8 is like invincible. But I feel like with Zenkaiger logic, she can like make a banana peel and X8 like slips on it and then he fucking dies. So probably I mean I think cartoon logic wins. So I think to answer Calvin's question, I think Majin wins. What's my favorite Toku fight scene from Nika video? Easily, I think the first one I would think of is the Cross Saber debut. So there's some outside reason for that, which I won't get into, but like that weekend, to have that fight debut that weekend was like the coolest thing ever. But I also love just the it does everything I would want like a form that has the power of 10 swords in that season to have, where he summons like all the swords above him. They go into space. We get 10, like we see an image of all the 10 riders above Earth with their stake in there. That's been my wallpaper on my laptop and PC since that episode. It's so cool. Like seeing big summons of all the riders slash across the world with a giant version of their sword. Seeing like the cross saber have like all the logos like on it as he slashes around. Then he just summons like a bunch of random variations of the sword. I think the one thing, he never summons, I guess, a sword to like physically fight with in that scene. He does it later. But it doesn't matter. Like easily that scene. Like I love summon abilities like that, but to have it localized within its own show's lore is pretty awesome. And rewrite the story plays the whole time, which is awesome. What was my first tokusatsu show from ZG30? So technically my first would be like, I think, well, okay, I had Mystic Force toys and merch. Like there's videos of my brother in like 2009 wearing a Mystic Force shirt. I don't know why Mystic Force wasn't on the air anymore, but we had that shirt. But I don't know if we ever watched Mystic Force live. Like I don't think I ever watched any Power Rangers until Samurai when it was on Netflix. So technically I guess it was Power Rangers Samurai. It's just weird because we have Mystic Force and Overdrive and RPM toys, but I don't think we ever watched it. So hello Josh, I see you in the chat. Talons, for some reason, asks, what do I think of Kamen Rider Gaim? It's ranked highly in the list of every shows each time, but I never made any videos on the series. That is a great question, because I watched it before I made videos. So it technically was the first Rider season I completed, because everyone was like, oh, Gaim's the best show, Gaim. So I went through and I binged all of that. So I like Gaim. I haven't watched it since I originally watched it, so maybe my opinions would skew slightly, but like I like Gaim. It's good. I like let's see, what do I like? I mean, I like the use of like the riders in it is pretty cool. I really like the lore with the Zengoku drivers and stuff. Like the escalation in Gaim is pretty awesome. It's just, I mean, I haven't seen it in so long that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to put it higher or lower than other stuff I've seen recently, but I liked it. What do I think of Gaim? Because I bought a bunch of Gaim stuff in the Bai Hall. I did not buy that willingly. That was forced into my cart. Do I have the Bang Bang Tank and Mighty Novel X gashettes? Yes, they're over there. I'm not going to go get them, but I do have them. There is footage of me unboxing them, which I'll upload eventually. The thing is, I was waiting to save that and Genamuso as like a final X-Aid Gashat unboxing video, which is why I never released the footage yet. But then they announced the new Genmu Fumetsu stuff, so now that's going to be the final unboxing Gashat video until they until they release the other ones that they've shown off, the new Genmu, the new Mighty Action X, and the new Tokimeki Crisis stuff. So that's still going to have to happen eventually. So so now I can just release that whenever, but I'm waiting for like the right moment. But yes, I do have those. More exit. Have I seen Hyper Genmu Fumetsu from Outsiders? Yes, I have. A very cool form. I think I like it a little more than the normal. It's weird, because when we got normal Genmu, like, just being a fan of X8 since the show was airing, it was like this so cathartic, because I'd seen all of that fan art of like Muso or Hyper Muteki Genmu, so seeing them actually do that, having an actual like Genmu version of the Muteki jingle was like so cathartic. It was so crazy that they actually did that. And then like 2 years later they just did it again for what's it called, for Zombie. So now like the kind of like, I guess, impact, like Muso just had like this crazy impact of it actually happening. Fumetsu doesn't have the same impact because it was like, oh, we did this already. But it's still pretty cool. Like I am glad they're I can't complain about more Gashads. Another Muteki style Gashad. That's pretty awesome. I think if I just had one like nitpick, because you can tell they didn't plan that in advance, because they made a new Muteki style Gashad, or like a brand new style Gashad. It was like a gear duel for Muso, and then they just decided to redo two Muteki Gashad, like a maximum and a Muteki Gashad for Fumetsu. Like it would have been kind of funny if they planned that in advance and made a maximum that made, or like just at least put a slot on the Muso Gashad that you can stick a Fumetsu Gashad on, but it's fine, it's whatever. Did I say who? I think I've been forgetting who's asking these. Sometimes I forget things, so I apologize. This is from Gno, Kazuma, and Hinokami Productions. From Abby Man, will I bring back Sentai Rider potential ideas? Yes. I think I said in last year's Q&A it would be 40,000 subscribers. I've said in some Q&A, maybe it was the one I did at the beginning of this year, but I've said 40,000 subs I'll do, because we need the fourth one. So if we get the 40,000, I'll do the fourth one. The 4, you know. So as simple as that. We get to 40,000, I'll do that. Vito Kyo Cox Pokemon asks, what are my favorite insert songs and why? I'll do, let's see. I mean, my favorite insert song, technically it is an insert song, is Majin's, is her character song, because they played it in Zenkaiger. So technically it's an insert song, so that's awesome. I don't need to explain why that one's my favorite. Second favorite would be Rewrite the Story. As I mentioned, the Cross Saber debut is awesome, and the song itself is so cool. So I love that song. I love Cross Saber. So that song would be second. Third, I'm not gonna rank other ones, but like, let's see, not Majin one for Sentai. It's hard to pick, because Sentai usually, whenever they do an insert song, you're like, is this the coolest song ever? It's like, that's how I feel about most Sentai songs. I guess, I don't know, hard to pick a non-Majin Sentai one. I mean, maybe this one's a cop-out, but I really like, the Maji King insert from Maji Ranger. That's a really cool song. M's in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I know for Ultraman, at least Ultraman, I have an easy one. It's Ignition from Blazar. That's like a really awesome song. They played it only once, but it's fine. It was no, it's not fine, because they played it only once the episode before his final form debuted, which is fire themed. Ignition, fire. So it's like, that's the song you play for the fire song. No, or for the fire form, but they didn't. They just played a new song, which was a fine song, I think. So, but that's my favorite Ultraman one. Decade Nerd asks, what inspired me to do YouTube? So the simple answer is it was summer, and I was just kind of bored. I was like, I've seen YouTube videos. I've watched a bunch of Tokutubers. Let me give it a go. Let me do it. Especially too, because my friends didn't watch Toku, so I wanted to talk, with someone about Toku, so I decided to make it the internet. So I made those very bad slideshow videos, because I was like, I don't want to use my voice. Then after like a month, I'm like, no, this isn't gonna get me. I didn't set out to be like the biggest Tokutuber ever, but I started it. At a certain point, I was like, no one's gonna watch my videos with this. Like, I wanted people to watch my videos, even though I wanted to do it as an outlet. So after that, I was like, let me use my voice, and then escalation. Now my face is here. Vital Kun asks, is Jujube really my last name? Yes, it is. If you look at my birth certificate, it does say Jujube as my last name. Oh, we went backwards. Angel Quintana asks, what is my favorite superhero time lineup? It would be Saber, the Saber Zenkaiger lineup. And that's not just because, I mean, it is kind of the things I've been saying. Obviously, Majin, but I really love Zenkaiger. Saber was really cool, and I think it was when we had the set of crossover episodes. Which, yes, one of them was Majin Reika focus, but it was still, like, those sets of episodes were just so fun. It was so great to see those two casts interact. And once we hit that, that's where I was like, oh, I really like both of these shows. It's really cool to just have the two shows have this little crossover. And that moment was like, this is pretty cool. So easily it was the Saber Zenkaiger crossover. And I'm glad, part of that might just also because they got the superhero Senki crossover, so the fact like they were so intertwined while they were airing was pretty cool. M? I forgot this was in here. M? M in the chat. Joseph asks, if I were to create other amalgams in the vein of the Arc 1 amalgam, which Kamen Rider suits would I like to see used, and which chemis would I pair them with? Let's see. So, I feel like the first thing that comes to my mind right now is doing something like... some of the chemis vaguely look like other rider forms. Like, I'm not gonna tell you this is what they were referencing, but at least looking at it, like, Luxion looks like Blades' final form. The skateboard kind of looks like the Revice skateboard form, or at least, like, the eyes look like Revi. Opera de Bushido is orange, like Gaim, and it's a samurai. So maybe stuff like that would be kind of cool, like a Gaim amalgam combined with Opera de Bushido, because they're both samurai themed. Deno and Steamliner, yes, stuff like that. Or Hopper one and like a mascot or something. I don't know. Or Ichigo. But if I had to like pick multiple to combine into one rider, I guess that's hard because like even Arc 1 they just kind of picked 5 random ones that hadn't been discovered, captured yet, stuck them onto one amalgam so Hotaro could get them all at once. Or no, it was 4, right? It was 4. The other one was 5 Fantastics, I think. And yeah, the other one was 4 randos. So I'm trying to think. I mean, it would be kind of fun to get Xaid and stick the battery on him, stick the bunny on him, stick there's no video game chemis, right? Or like video game relevant chemis. So I guess just stick whatever on Xaid. I think that would be kind of funny. If my avatar wasn't Xaid Muteki, what would I choose instead? From Ice Prince Alex. I guess this is like the other one asking if I changed my mascot, but I guess I didn't say what I'd do if I changed it. I would probably just make an OC. I mean, draw an OC and stick with that. What would the OC look like? I would probably make like a Zenkaiger Ranger based on Muteki. Like you know how the Zenkaiger, or even Zenkaiser, I guess. Zenkaiser looks like Aka Ranger. I would do a Sentai Zenkaiser that looks like Muteki. Like, it wouldn't be the rainbow. Like, that kind of idea. The idea of Zenkaiser looks like Aka Ranger. I would do that with a Sentai that looks like Muteki, I guess. That's what I would do. I think that would be pretty cool. Triax Studios asks, what are my favorite things that are not Toku? So I really like, well, actually, recently I've been getting a lot into anime. If anyone follows me on, or is in the Discord server or follows me on Twitter, I've started trying to watch more anime this year. So the beginning of the year, I was watching Metallic Rouge and Bang Bravern, which are like very cool shows. Bravern is like the coolest thing ever. The coolest guy ever, at least. The show is also like the coolest thing ever. So, hello? Thank you. Sorry, we went out of focus for a second. Bravern, anime in general is pretty cool. I'm trying to get into more of that. Superhero stuff in general, I've been a big fan of. I've been watching stuff since like around the original Iron Man. It came out in 2008. I've been a big fan of that. I've kind of dropped off on it recently just because of, well, I've also been kind of busy, but at least like I still love like superhero stuff. And like movies in general, honestly, like I love going to the theater. I don't go that often because expensive. Because I always need my popcorn with my movies when I'm in the theater, at least. But like I try to like watch a movie like every week. So I just love watching movies in general. I guess I'd say like that's my biggest hobby that's not toku or anime, since they're kind of adjacent. Just watching movies in general. Right now I'm going through M. Night's Unbreakable series. I've seen Split and Unbreakable, the movie Unbreakable. So I'm gonna watch Glass tomorrow. And I don't know what I'll watch after that. I have a watch list of stuff I'd like to watch, but every time I get to the time where I'm gonna watch a movie, I'm like, I don't know what to watch now. I need to look at my list. So if you have movies I should watch, go to my letterbox, look at my watch list, and tell me which ones of those I should watch. Lucas Jordan asks, other than Rider, Sentai, and Ultra, what other tokusatsu do I like? I guess Godzilla, technically, but the only actual toku Godzilla I've seen was the original. I haven't seen any of the others. I'd like to watch those, but I haven't checked any of them out yet, so I guess give me recommendations. But the other big toku that I like that's not those three, that's actually toku, is... I've seen the MonsterVerse Godzilla movies, I guess that's what I meant to say. I've seen -1, but those technically aren't toku, because there's no one in a suit in them. But, you know, I like Godzilla himself as a toku character, so I guess that counts. But Gridman, love Gridman. I watched SSS for Yume and playing Rika. How long ago? 2021. So like 3 years ago. I watched SSSS and that was awesome. Then last year, the end of last year, I finally checked out the original Gridman. And then I rewatched SSS, and then I watched Dynazenon, and then I saw the movie. All of that fantastic universe by Tsuburaya and Trigger, I guess, because they made the anime. Love that. So I mean, I know the animes aren't technically toku, but at least like Gridman, once again, I guess it's like Godzilla. The original I've seen it when it was toku, so that counts as a toku universe, I guess. I love all of that. Very, very cool stuff. Hopefully, I want to make a video on all of that at some point. Just like a video on Gridman and SSS Gridman, and then a video on Dynazenon and the movie. I think that would be really cool. I'd really like to do that. Maybe I should rewatch all of them again, and then I do that. Well, maybe not watch. Gridman's fun, but it's very episodic. I don't know how I'd feel rewatching it, because a lot of it's kind of the same episodes, but it's like, it's a product of its time, a kid's show made just to sell toys, but it's fun, and especially with the anime really heightens it, because some of stuff that you watch in the original, at least having seen the anime first, then I watched the original, I'm like, oh, like I can kind of see like the trio here is just what they're doing in the anime. So it makes me appreciate them in the show first a little bit more. And like obviously like all the visual stuff, of course, and like there's a bunch of references and stuff in the anime to the show, but watching it in the original show kind of made me like appreciate it a little more. Ace, just Ukiyo Ace. What are my thoughts about Kamen Rider Zane from Kamen Rider Outsiders? Very weird, like in a cool way. Like, I can't believe they made this completely original, unique suit for this weird spin-off fever dream. I love that he uses like a progress key, but he doesn't look like a 01 rider, but he uses decade cards. I know they're called like Zane cards because they have his logo on it, but it's visually just a decade card. So the fact that he's got a belt that uses 2 gimmicks is crazy. The suit's very cool. I kind of headcanon him as like Legends secondary rider. There's no reason for that. It's just that they put him in like the same Soto set, I think, and they look good together, and it's kind of the same thing, like a weird decade recreation rider in Gotchard that just functions as his own thing, and then this 01 driver rider that uses decade cards but also functions as his own thing. So because of that, they kind of go together. Also, Zane is technically a Gotchard rider because he was in the show Kamen Rider Gotchard. That's the only show he's in. So they're both weird spin-off riders that appeared in the same episode of Gotchard. So also Zane is like the first special rider to appear in the show, right? Like, in the sense of, like, I guess maybe I don't know. It's weird because in that episode we get Eternal and Dark Kiva. Or no, Dark Kiva was in the show, but at least Eternal isn't a gotchard special. But he was also previously in the double movie. Like, because Zane isn't in a gotchard thing at all, and he's in the show, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he's a first of anything, but it's just weird. Because, like, Eternal appearing there is like, we're doing Legend Rider stuff. Zane appearing there is like, what? Zorai99 asks, what is my favorite Pokemon game and who's my favorite Pokemon? Need 3 or at least 1 from all types that are starter, a bunch of types. And would I watch a Pokemon and Kamen Rider crossover? Yes, I would. See, the thing is, I've never played a Pokemon game. Like the video games. Never played any of them. I played the card game. I had a few decks. I think I gave them away to a relative. But I had a bunch of Pokemon card decks. I had a little Pokemon phase. But I never played one of the games. So I can't really answer all of the specific categories because I don't know anything of that besides starter. I know what starter Pokemon are. I guess I can say, I don't know his name, but the little bunny, flame bunny guy. And I think I'd say he's also my favorite because he's a little fire bunny. So, yeah. Anthony Thomas asks, what do I think of Rainbow Gotchard? Rainbow Gotchard might be my 3rd favorite Kamen Rider Final Form ever. Goes Hyper Muteki, Armed Hibiki, and I think Rainbow Gotchard. I haven't sat down and thought about what are the other ones I might like more than Rainbow, but I love Rainbow so much. Like, the suit looks so cool. Every time I look at it, I just have to be like, that is a great looking suit. Like, that is a suit. Like, I love the big stupid arrow thing. I love the big arrow visor. It's so cool. Like, the fact you look at it from the side, it's just big arrow things sticking out. But from the front, it looks so cool. Like, all the little, like, the intricate details of it as well. It looks so cool. I love it. And the sounds are great, too. Nijigan's fun as a toy. Spoilers. But it looks great. Like, I love the form. And the powers, too. Like, it's summoned. I know now I'm going off on, like, other. I guess this asks Rainbow Gotchard in general. So I love the powers, too. Like, the fact it can summon actual suits now that but now last episode showed it could summon wilds, too. So you could just summon, like, a bunch of random, like, past form stuff. And I love that. Like I said with Saber, like, I love summoning form stuff. And it's not as cool as Cross Saber power-wise, but it's still pretty awesome. So I love Rainbow Gotchard. I really have to think about, I was looking for something, but I put it away. I really have to think about how I feel about it in comparison to other Rider Final Forms. Because I feel like it's at least top 5, I think, for sure. I don't know if it's 3rd yet, because I can't think of, but I can't think of anything I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely above it. Like, yeah, I don't know. Thor Valcarni asks, do I think it would be cool if we got other armed raise buckles? I assume this is talking about the missing ones in the Desire Driver, like armed fire, bazooka. Yes, if they release those right now, with like, even if they didn't do like concept art, if they put those up on Premium Bandai, I probably would just pre-order them. Because I really want those. I've contemplated ordering like a set of extras on, like extra raise buckles on Baiyi and trying to mod them to look like that. I can get the sounds easily because of like 3D print stuff, but not I want the buckle to look like something like that, but I don't want to 3D print a part on the buckle because that requires like modeling stuff, which I can't do very well. So we'll see. But well, yes, I do think it would be cool if they did to release the other ones. Always a Deca Ranger asks, what's my opinion on Ranger keys? Ranger keys are pretty cool. I don't think I own a single one now that I think of it. But I think they're pretty cool. They're a pretty cool gimmick. Like just having little representations of all the Rangers are pretty cool, and then the fact you can make a sound with it in the Mobiritz is like an extra cherry on top. But just the fact, like, just having a gimmick that is a little man is pretty cool. Like I always think like it would be cool for Kamen Rider to do something like that, but I don't know how they would do it. That's not just doing the Ranger key again without taking out the gimmick, because then you take out the gimmick and it's like now it's just a weird thing. Right now it's just a little figure, but at least like the key gimmick like adds to it as well. So yeah, Ranger keys are cool. I know someone's gonna say there's O's keys. I know about the O's keys. So yeah, there's a Majin sound in the Mobirates, the Memorial Mobirates. So I feel like at some point they're planning to release her. So I'll probably get that set. I'll either get that set or maybe I'll just see if there's anyone willing to sell me the one key or all the Zenkaiser keys. I don't know. I guess if it comes with an extra Zenkaiser, maybe I'll just buy the whole set to have all the Zenkaisers as keys, because I wouldn't mind that. And maybe I'll just sell off the rest of the set. I don't know. But that worries me too, because then I'd have to buy Ranger keys. And then I feel like once I do that, I'd at least want a Mobirates. So, you know, or at least the Memorial one so I can get the sound. Overdright Stop Motions asks, what are my thoughts on the Power Rangers reboot being officially canceled, and what do I think of Hasbro giving the toy rights of Power Rangers to Playmates? Do I have any hopes or expectations? So Power Rangers reboot being canceled, honestly, after like the 2 years that we got like no updates on it, I was kind of just like, it wasn't even a factor in my head. Like I wasn't even thinking of it as a thing that was happening. So once it got canceled, I was like, oh, yeah, it kind of felt like it was canceled already. What do I think of Hasbro giving the toy rights to Playmates? So I have one Playmates toy. Where he's right here. I got this Godzilla. I just took his tail off. I got Evolved Godzilla, the Playmates toy, like the day after I saw Godzilla vs. Kong, because I was like, first of all, awesome movie. I'm like, I like a Godzilla, because I don't have any Godzilla stuff. So this was my first Godzilla toy I ever got. And it's pretty, I mean, I just have him sitting here like on my shelf or my dresser over there, because it's not like it does anything. So in that sense, because Power Ranger toys are cool to pose with. A Godzilla, I mean, a Godzilla you can do posable, but this is just fine for me, just having a pink Godzilla sitting over here. But it would be nice to have posable Power Rangers, so I don't know how, I don't have any hopes or expectations, I guess. I don't even know if I'll buy any of it. Like, if they make Mystic Force toys or something like that, maybe I'll buy those. Like, if they're cheap little representations of a figure that looks fine, maybe I'll consider buying them, because I don't really buy a lot of Power Ranger stuff anymore. But yeah, I don't really have any hopes or expectations, I guess, other than, I don't know, I'm kind of expecting just like MMPR again. Actually, you know what I hope? I hope they do Cosmic Fury, because they made those suits look bad for toys only to never make toys. It would be really funny if a different company went and made those toys that Hasbro designed to make toys. To make toys. So, random user asks, are there any old videos that I would have redone? Well, first of all, isn't that not the Yuri girl manga in the profile picture? Anyways, let's see. Any that I would have redone. I mean, it would be nice to redo some of the old rankings. Like the final form ranking, the base form ranking. Probably need to redo those at some point, because now we've gotten a few more primary riders. The Sentai Mecha one as well. I think I planned in that video, I can't remember if that's in the actual video or not, but I think I planned to include some of the random Power Rangers ones, like the 2017 movie and the like the Hyperforce one. I don't think that's in the video, but maybe someone knows and they can let me know. But it would be kind of fun to redo those and include those, or even redo them just as tier lists, because you can do, with that many suits, you can do a tier list pretty easily. Akiba Ranger, I also was thinking of like including the Akiba Ranger one. Is there a Cosmic, sorry, not Cosmic, I guess, no, Cosmic Fury's Q Ranger. The Solar Ranger, sorry, from the comics. Yeah, I was gonna include some of the comic ones, I think, from the Power Rangers comics. So maybe if I redid that, that would be kind of interesting. Other than that, I don't know really which ones I would redo, especially because now at this point I don't really upload a video unless it's like, this is a video I want to put out or something. Edward Lowe asks, it's been a while, but your thoughts on the Ride Commons game that was released weeks ago. Do I know or have I seen the news? Well, yes, of course I know. That was like all anyone could talk about for like a month. Because that's just what they were advertising for like a month straight. It's so weird. Just, I guess, to give my thoughts. Like, they were advertising... Okay, what? We learned Ride Commons was a thing coming out. And I was like, oh, is this a new anime? I'll watch that. That'll be cool. Then they announced it's a gacha game. And I'm like, oh, that's not... I'm not... I don't know about that. And then they start showing off the designs. And it's like, oh, these are... weird. And then they did a bunch of marketing. I will admit the marketing push was kind of fun because they were like teasing what the future riders were going to be. So it was kind of fun to like sit there and speculate what weird rider suit are they going to twinkify now. And then they like did all that, and then they kind of paused the marketing a little bit, but then they kind of kicked it back up when they showed off the villains in the intro, which is pretty awesome actually. And then the game came out, and like I felt like no one was talking about it. Like I mean, granted, most of the circles I'm in are the English-speaking Western circles that aren't going to be able to play the game, so it kind of makes sense the game comes out. Now we have nothing to talk about because we can't play the game. But I feel like I follow some Japanese accounts too, and I felt like no one was talking about the game. So like I honestly don't even know. Like that's the thing that fascinates me the most. Like how is this game doing? I don't even know what the gameplay looks like because they like never put it in any of the trailers. And I haven't seen anyone, like, play it, really. I think, actually, Taka did a video on it, so maybe I should go watch that. But I also don't really care, because I'm not going to be able to play the game. So, yeah, in terms of the designs, like, the designs are so, like, whatever. Some of them are pretty awesome, like, the Mad Guy ones with the masks. What is it? Hibiki, Dangerous Zombie, and, like, Momotaros as a rider. Those are, like, the 3 best designs in the whole game. Those look awesome. The other ones are all just like hit or miss. Like some of them are so random. Like why is there a horse Orphanok like a horse Orphanok rider is kind of cool. Like I like how they take some of the kaijin and have turned them into rider designs. Like Momotaro's horse Orphanok. That's pretty cool. But then other one like they did Gaim twice. Like they have a Ryugen and a Zangetsu guy. It's like why? Why are we doing that? I don't know. It just feels very weird. Like I guess it's just for guys and gals that really like twink gacha game stuff. It's just weird to me because I feel like a lot of those are like girl gacha games, right? Like the D4DJ and Bandori and Love Live and I mean I guess those are all idol shows that are gacha games, so maybe that's where my knowledge is being skewed. But I don't know. I feel like it's just weird to have, especially too, because like only one of the villains is a girl, so it's like randomly like if your whole thing was like this, all these are twink guys, sure, but then there's like one random girl on the bad guy side. It's like what? Like at least she's not even the main villain. Like if she was the main villain, then that would be fine. But it just feels like a random inclusion to like now there's also a girl. Okay, where are the other girls? There's no one. There's no other girl in this entire world. She's the only one. So yeah, suits are weird. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. If they make an English version, if there's a way for me to play it, I'll probably do like I'll play it and see what's up. But I'm not spending money on that. So JoJo Star, what Sentai cast would I like to see return for a 10 or 20 after movie? I mean, the obvious one is Zenkaiger whenever that time comes. I'll feel so old. What will that be? 2031? Jeez. So Zenkaiger obviously, but Magi Ranger, Magi Ranger's 20th is next year, right? So please, Magi Ranger 20th, please. I want a Magi Ranger 20th. That'll be so good. That'll be so cool. I mean, I think part of me, like, there's a small part of my brain that's like, oh, they're gonna do a Majin reference. Like, Yuma's gonna be in it. They're gonna put something, like, they'll just have a joke like, oh, imagine if Majin King goes small and pink. I feel like surely they have to do that, right? Like, because none of the other Sentai that are made into Zenkaiger have a reference besides Two Kaiser, but Two Kaiser is the reference. They were happening at the same time. So I feel like surely they have to do something right. Even if not, like if they'll give Maji Red like a new power up, and he'll wear it alongside the others in their legend form, and I'll be happy. That'll be pretty cool. So I think Majin Ranger's like the big one. Anyone else, I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings about any others that aren't like the ones that have just aired that I like. Like I like a Dawn Brothers one, of course, but that's like Zenkaiger. That's like way off in the future, so I'm not even really thinking about that. Yeah, let's see. Trying to think. Yeah, I guess just Majin Ranger 20th. Give me Majin Ranger 20th. I did see a few questions in here I wanted to address. Do I have a Discord server? Yes, I do. It's linked in the description of all the videos. And then also Maji Blue and Maji Shine's actor and actress have retired from acting. I mean, they got Abra Yellow. She was retired and she came back. I think even one of the Gokaijers was retired too, and they came back. So, I mean, if they're doing like, hey, we're doing a anniversary special for a show you were in, do you want to do it? They'll do it. Q Ranger 10th. Yes, I'll watch a Q Ranger 10th. That'll be pretty cool. Spider Oger asks, how likely do I think it is that we're going to get a Shin Super Sentai movie just like we got with Rider and Ultraman? I don't think it's very likely, especially at this point. Like, they probably would have announced one and started working on one already, I feel. Because they did like the Godzilla, Shin Kamen Rider, Evangelion Rebuild, I think, and Shin, what's the Shin I'm missing? Shin Ultraman. They did like that weird mecha of all of them, and that's like basically Shin Super Sentai. But also, like, I feel like if they did that, they've closed the book on that kind of thing. Like, maybe they'll do more Shin Kamen Rider stuff, which they are doing, but I don't think they'll introduce anything new. It seems like they're kind of done with all of that. And also, as I understand, like, all of that is like Hideaki Anno's like kind of idea. Like, I know he didn't direct Shin Ultraman, I think, but I think he still is involved with that because they're all stuff he wanted to do. So I feel like I don't think he likes Sentai as much as those, so that's why I feel like that won't happen. These two I stuck together just because on the YouTube community tab comment section, these were stuck on top of each other, so I thought that was pretty fun because they're the same question. So from Mafo2133 and GBFacts5675, who is my favorite Sentai 6 Ranger? This one's very hard, honestly, because I feel like every Sentai that happens, I'm like, oh, this is kind of the coolest guy ever, which is kind of how Sentai 6 are. Even when I watch older seasons, like Uchi, right now I'm watching Kyoryuger. Uchi, I'm like, oh, he's not the coolest guy ever, maybe, but like he's great. He's the coolest guy ever in a sense. I'm like, maybe he's my favorite. I really liked Shinken Gold. It's kind of the same thing as Uchi. Maybe not like this is the coolest guy ever, but like this is the greatest guy ever, maybe. Jeremy was like, this is the coolest guy ever. Unfortunately, I don't think Jiro Torable. He's cool, but maybe not the coolest guy ever. What's Zox? He's right there, or the thingy is there. Zox is the coolest guy ever. Kirame Silver is maybe the coolest guy ever. Kanalo's fine. He's not the coolest guy ever, though. And then Lupin Gold, and we can stop talking about Sentai 6. Actually, no, I'll say Q Ranger. Q Ranger. Ho Soldier is the coolest guy ever. So, it's very hard to pick. I think right now I'll just say Zox because Zenkaiger is pretty cool. Look at it this way. I only have one Sentai 6 Memorial Changer, and it's the $270 Zox one. So, we'll go with Zox. I don't know if I'm going to be able to say that name. I'll just Minley. That's a name in there. I know that's a name, so we'll say that. Min asks, do I think Kamen Rider Snipe should have a proper final form like Kamen Rider Snipe Bang Bang Galaxy level 76? Okay, few things. Yes. Level 76. Why level 76? It's very specific. But I'm kind of here for it. Bang Bang Galaxy, incredible name. That should be the name of the form, or something like that. Yes, I do think he should have a proper final form. If we get an X-Aid like 10 years after thing, give Snipe a form, a new form, and have him use Bang Bang Tank in the slot or in the weapon for that form again or something like that. Yeah, I mean now I'm kind of set on Bang Bang Galaxy or some kind of like Bang Bang Galactic, something space themed, because he did he used Xevious in the one special, so he already has a space form. So yeah. Oh, as for the level, I feel like just stick him at level 99. I think give him a gear duel maybe. I don't know, that would be kind of cool. Or like get like a Genmu Fumetsu kind of style gear duel, where it's like a gear duel but only has one game on it, and maybe he rotates the dial and it gives him like a big gun mode or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool. Because X-Aid has no X-Aid is invincible, so you can't assign him to a level. Brave is level broken, so he's 100. So Snipe, he can be 99. I think that would be pretty fun. So yes, absolutely. Josh Zahobo asks, do I think we will ever have another Superhero Senki? If so, what would I like to see in it? I don't think we'll ever get another one called Superhero Senki, but I mean, I don't care what Shirakura says. They're going to do another crossover movie thing at some point. Because that's just what you do. Who would I like to see, or what would I like to see in it? I would really like, okay, let's see. The other Zenkaijers were not as involved with Superhero Senki, I think, if I remember. It was really just, even Zox wasn't really in it. It was Juran and, Kaito that really did most of the stuff. So I think if I had to pick what would I like to see in it, I would like to see split up the Rider and Sentai casts. So pick off like one Rider with each Sentai member from one of the casts to do like a group of 5 or 6. Maybe you can stick. No, do a group of 6. Group of 6 and put a legendary actor on each one. Rider or Sentai, doesn't matter. And then make the movie about that with all these groups, whatever. And then maybe combine some if you have to, because 6 individual groups of characters is kind of a lot. And then do a big battle at the end. Of course. Internet asks, how do I feel my taste, preferences, in tokusatsu and media in general have evolved? I feel like the best... well, let's see. I feel like during the Lupat Gio, during that period of time, I felt like I was really cynical. And as cynical as I could be watching a show made for 10-year-olds. But it was more like I remember distinctly in Gio, sometimes I'd be like, oh, the time travel here makes no sense. This show's stupid. Or actually, I can't remember really. I mean, I think my Lupat criticisms are what people usually say, so maybe that's fine. But at least in Gio, I'd be like, oh, none of this makes sense. This is kind of stupid. Or like, I think I'd do stuff like, why didn't he go into this form? And some of it's like, it's a kid show. Like, it's specific to Gio. It's like time travel isn't real, so of course it's not going to make sense. I still have problems with Gio as a show, but I feel like chalking it up to being time travel stuff is like, no, that's stupid. So I feel like from that, my tastes have evolved to the point where I'm kind of just like, I feel like I'm less critical of stuff now. Like, if I'm like, I can sit there, like, I'll take Gotchard as an example, because I don't think Gotchard is an amazingly written show, but I have fun with it week to week, and I think it's a good show. Because I think that despite its issues, I'm sitting there, I'm like, there's a story here, there's ideas here they're trying to tell, and it's fun. I think because since Gio, I like read a book where it's kind of like try to find like the purpose and like every part of a story. So sometimes I sit there and I'm like, I'm not really enjoying this. Or I'm like, I run into an episode or a scene, I'm like, what is this? So I try to sit and I think about it. I'm like, why did they do this? Because this didn't just happen. Like, this episode, this weird development didn't just spawn into a show or a movie. So I try to sit there and think, like, what relevance does this have? And sometimes I can figure it out. Or sometimes just trying to think of, like, a relevant purpose for something, like, makes me appreciate it a little bit more. But sometimes I'm like, I don't understand this, so... Is Thomas the Tank Engine technically a Sentai from Adam the Consenting G, Javier Stan, and rest of that username that got cut off? I don't know if I'm allowed to show this in its entirety, but let me see. Because this might be copyrighted. That's my thing. So I'll show. Let's do this. Hello. Window capture. As you can tell, I definitely planned this out. Okay. Oh wait, no, don't cover me up. What the heck? Yeah. Here we go. So, I don't know how many of you know about this. There was this wonderful little... Here's an ad. I'll just keep the sound off. Maybe that's the copyright. So who is this? James Farr. This is the guy who made this. So this is the like the greatest thing ever. Okay, look. So Thomas the Tank Engine, hit the button Optimus Prime. He transforms into a robot. He's fighting Galvatrain. In this one, he's fighting Galvatrain. This is the second one. In the first one, he fights Megatrain, because of course, and it's Spencer. And then he gets like shocked by Spencer. Please go watch this if you haven't. So then they hit a button, and it summons just a bunch of other Thomas the Tank Engine trains. And the reason I say please go watch this is because as this happens, there is a remix of the Power Rangers theme playing, but instead of saying Go Go Power Rangers, it's saying Thomas the Tank Engine, because they combine into the reference is a Power Rangers robot, of course, but Transformers also combine, so it's not like it's like, oh, this is what Transformers do this too. But anyways, so then they defeat Spencer Galvatrain, and then the crane is Unicrane. So then I don't know the helicopter's name. The helicopter shows up and attaches to the back to provide a jetpack. So to answer the question, is Thomas the Tank Engine technically a Sentai? Yes. Yes, it is. What do I think is the best toy line Sentai and Rider have ever put out? Rider, I feel like it's kind of easy. Maybe I'm biased. I feel like the Geats toy line was so unique. The way you could mix and match any of the buckles, but if you mix it with Boost, you got a unique jingle. The way that we have big buckles, small buckles, so you can mix that. The ID cores were such a unique gimmick. Or not gimmick, but like unique idea to like just personalize the driver, but it's not entirely unique. And also to just kind of from a premium Bandai perspective, most of that toy line was retail. It was really like the Laser Raise Riser being retail is like awesome. So maybe that's recency bias, show bias, toy bias. Maybe it's not objectively Geats. I don't know what else it would be besides Geats. Maybe Gaim or Xaid. Xaid maybe just from the perspective of a lot of those Gashats were retail. Like basically everything in the show. I'm looking at my wall. Everything in the show was retail except Mighty Brothers, but that's not even a form. So. Because Tattle Legacy that would be premium Bandai these days, right? Like the fact Tattle Legacy was a retail release is crazy. That's a secondary Rider Final Form the day after the final form, main Rider Final Form happens. Totally new mold. Like it's a totally new mold as a Gashat. Like that would be premium. That you look at that and that looks like a premium Bandai toy, but it was retail. So actually, maybe I might have to give it to Xaid. Then that's not even biased. That's just because Tattle Legacy was retail, and like a bunch also because a bunch of other special gashettes were retail as well. The the 2 movie form gashettes were retail. Last time movie forms were ever retail before gotchard happened a few days ago. Let's see. The main villain rider was retail. That never happens anymore. Pac-Man, Famista, and Xevious were all retail, and they were all in the weird spin-off special. The Legend Riders used in that spin-off special, Drive, Gaim, Wizard, and I think one other. I feel like there was one other one, but those were also all retail. And then Ghost was like a campaign. A lot of them were also like campaign things, which are like a little weird to track down. But like there wasn't the premium Bandai stuff was stuff you'd think would be premium Bandai. Like all the Heisei Rider gashettes, that's in the special, but no one uses them. So it's like that makes sense. Like if you're crazy XA diehard gashet collector, you would buy the big premium Bandai set. Geets Powered Builder would like to talk. I'm talking summer movie forms. I should have specified that. Summer movie forms have not been retail since Xaid and until gotchard. For Sentai, I mean maybe recency bias wants me to say maybe the Sentai gears. I guess I'm not sure about the intricacy of the gotchard toy line, because I might want to say that one as well, because I don't know. But I think they had a lot of premium sets towards the end to complete your keys. So if you needed to buy a premium set to complete the key, that really bumps it down for me. I'm trying to think. Dawn Brothers was all right. Dawn Brothers was pretty cool. King Gojo was also cool, just because it was like a modern toy line without a gimmick, and you had all the mechas and stuff, and you could make a big clusterfuck. Language. I feel like the Sentai ones in general, like Sentai recently hasn't been super bogged down by premium Bandai stuff. I feel like it's harder to pick a best Sentai toy line because a lot of them are about the same in terms of consistent releases. Like you get your main Ranger changers, like the main Ranger, the 6, the power-ups, like all that's going to be retail. It's going to be cool toys. So maybe the like only recently we've been getting more premium stuff, but the premium stuff is like the Dawn Murasame sword. So like I don't know. I had an idea for this when I picked the question. Kyoryuger. I think the Kyoryuger toy line is the best. Granted, I don't have any of those toys, but I think Kyoryuger has to be picked as the best. Because like there's 23 different Judenchi used in the show that all make unique sounds that were all released in different ways. Then you can use them all like in the gun and you get different sounds, or the other gun you get different sounds. The Gabutira gun you get combination sounds. They're all interactable with the mechas to activate little power-ups. In Gabutira they would make sounds. You could create combination sounds with the Judenchi and that. The mechas are cool. Nothing much of that. Like the mechas are cool. Like I like all the toys as well. So actually I think Kyoryuger would be my easy pick for best Sentai toy line. I completely forgot about that. And I don't have any of those toys, and I wish I did. As I mentioned earlier, I've been watching Kyoryuger, so I've kind of been looking at that Memorial Gabu revolver in a set of Judenchi. That's probably not going to happen because I am broke. But it'll happen eventually. I'll get a Gabu revolver. I mean, a memorial. I kind of want a memorial. I don't want the DX. Not that there's any, like the DX seems to work fine, but the memorial. It's a memorial. But I also want the mechas. My Dino Charge mechas over there. I took them out while I was watching Kyoryuger because I'm like, this is so cool. Wait, I have these toys. Like, kind of. So yeah, the Kyoryuger and I guess the Dino Charge one by extension because they did like about the same thing. I need to raise my head. From Himitsu Toku Sketch. I'm not sure if this has been asked before, but do I remember roughly what the timeline of fandoms I was in is like? How did I go from Transformers, then Power Rangers, then Tokusatsu? Another thing is, have I read any of the Transformers comics, like IDW or the ongoing Skybound run? And are there any toys I have my eyes on / love? Since last time I said my favorite was Legacy Armada Prime, who's over there. You know, I was saying, I'm not going to grab him. But you know what, I will grab him. Here's Armada Prime. He stays with me because he's really cool. Let's see. I'm looking at my shelf if there's anyone. Oh, okay. I'll say I did buy this Megatron. The what's it? Studio Series Bumblebee movie concept art Megatron. I got him this year, early this year. Oh, let me put him back. Okay, that's not gonna happen. You can chill out over here, Megatron. I got him to take a picture with Frank Welker because I took a picture with Bumblebee movie Megatron. And first of all, thank you for the super chat, Seth Inflamed. I'll get to that later. I got the Megatron to take a picture with. I took a picture with Optimus Prime's voice actor, Studio Series Optimus Prime. So I'm like, I need a Megatron, Studio Series Megatron to go with the Megatron voice actor. So I did also the big one. I guess I'm answering the second question first. The big one is I got the Omega Prime set with Robots in Disguise, Optimus Prime, Fire Truck with Ultra Magnus. I forgot his name. I got that big. I pre-ordered that big HasLab, but never bought a HasLab before. I think it's the most expensive Transformer I've ever gotten. Technically, it's 2, but still. Because I was like, well, it's a HasLab, so I might not be able to get it ever again. So they kind of got me with that. But also, like, I kind of get Optimus Primes with their trailers that combine with them. The Armada. I got the big movie one from Dark of the Moon. So I'm like, this is kind of a thing I get. So this will go great. And then I went and watched RID after. I hadn't watched any episodes. And I was like, well, now that I've spent too much money on this, I'll go through and I'll look at that show. And I liked it. So it makes me a little happier now. So, that's my big thing. And I also got, I'm just talking about my Transformer toys now. If anyone saw the DNA Design animated Optimus Prime upgrade kit, the Legacy animated Optimus Prime upgrade kit, where it's, let's do that. What if I just show a picture? Let me look out for the, not Transformers fans in the chat, because I don't know how many of you watch Transformers. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This thing. So they're doing this set of just this. So I pre-ordered this because, again, well, I've seen animated. I like animated. I have an animated Optimus Prime, but it's like the battle damage one. So it's like, oh, okay, get a new one. The Legacy one. I don't have it yet, so I'll have to get it eventually. But like the doing this, because what it's like, they've never done this the full trailer animated Optimus. They've never done that, so this would be the first time. It's granted it's a third party thing, but it's still the first time a toy of this exists. So that's pretty cool. I guess you have to think of it all with the caveat I've seen animated. So like this, like I have nostalgia for this stupid fire truck trailer thing. This referencing the last episode design is pretty awesome, but the fact it's the full fire truck creating it just makes it a little cooler to me. I think this whole thing was kind of planned as a toy, but then animated got canceled, so this is kind of reliving that as well, I guess. So this is pretty cool. I think this comes out later this year, so I need to buy an animated Legacy Optimus Prime now for that. So anyways, yeah, toys, that's Transformer toys. Have I read any of the comics? I read a bit of the new IDW and a couple of the old ones. I never just got into it. I don't know. Transformers comics weren't really my thing. The show, by all means, I'll watch the shows, but I need to watch Earthspark. But the comics, not really. Maybe I'll read Skybound since it's a whole new thing. and it's new, but yeah. Anyways, for the actual first question, the timeline of fandoms, I mean, it's weird because I don't think I was ever really in the Transformers and Power Rangers fandom until I was in Tokusatsu, into the Tokusatsu fandom. Because, like, I never really participated in, like, online chat stuff until I was doing it with Tokusatsu. So I feel like it was really, I mean, once I got a Twitter account in, like, 2018, that's kind of when I started participating in fandom stuff, because that was where I was, I guess, what does it mean to participate in fandom stuff? Like, is it me watching MGo's videos and leaving a comment like, wow, this is a cool Power Rangers thing on this gotchard review? Or is it making videos? I guess is making videos part of the fandom thing? Because then it would just be, once I started making videos, that's kind of where I started participating in the fandom, because I didn't really participate elsewhere. So I guess it depends on the logistics of the question. Do I think we'll get two Kaiser and Legend meeting at some point, similar to Gokai Red and Decade from Japan Octo Warrior? I'm surprised we haven't gotten them meeting yet. I mean, I know the actors met, but because, like, I mean, two Kaiser happens, Gold, Gokai Red, that just, you know, that's their Zenkaiger thing. But once they did that again for the other, like, Gokai Red and Decade are, I feel like they're always tied together as, like, the big early, like, Sentai, okay. The first, like, big Sentai anniversary thing they ever did, because they can all change it to Past Rangers. The big first Kamen Rider thing they ever did, because he can turn into Past Kamen Riders. So, like, those two, I feel like, have always been linked, and they've, like, met in Superhero Tysons and stuff. So they did Gold Gokaiger, and it was like, okay, yeah, Gold Gokaiger, cool. Then they did it with the pairing, Gold Decade, and it was like, well, first of all, like, I feel like someone at the Kamen Rider team surely had to have, like, someone on the Legend crew had to have known they were doing that. Like, two Kaiser had to have inspired that, right? Like, there's no way they did the same thing twice without looking at two Kaiser and be like, what if we did that? Which is fine, I love it. I just feel like surely some collaboration happened, whether or not it would, like, whatever. So now that they've done that, now that I can't believe they haven't done it yet, because that just feels like the obvious thing you do. Just do a two Kaiser versus Legend special. Do whatever you want, and it Zane appears, Marvelous appears, Decade appears, whoever you want. But, like, that's what you call the special, like, right? Like, I can't believe that hasn't happened yet, because I feel like it's right there. I thought maybe they were waiting for the Legend to get his final form so that they could have Legendary Legend fight Super 2 Kaiser. Maybe they even give 2 Kaiser a new form too, because not that there's anything wrong with Super 2 Kaiser, but maybe something to, like, feel on par with Legendary Legend. Stick the Gokai Cross mode, is that what it's called? The 10th anniversary form they got. Stick that all in gold and put it on Zox. That could be his upgrade. Or what? Wait. Like, you could do one arm is a swords, right? What's the other arm? Let me Gokaiger cross form. Gokai cross armor. Yeah, wait, hold on. You could do one is the gun. So you could stick the whole body in gold and make one arm, the sword arm, red, and make the gun arm blue for Katanar. So it's Riki and Katanar now. Right? I feel that would be a pretty cool form. They've already stuck half of that in gold, I think, for one of the King Gojo Dawn Brothers forms. So I feel like that's I don't know, yeah, I can't believe they haven't done that yet. If once they do that, I'll do a video on it for sure. But I'm waiting for it. Desmond Slater asks, what are my thoughts on the Ultraman dubs? I think they're really cool. I don't like watching dubs unless it's like Transformers, because then they're calling stuff like Optimus Prime, and that's just what I'm used to. I don't want to hear Convoy, because that's not what I'm used to. If it looks like Optimus Prime, I gotta call it Optimus Prime. But for Ultraman, Kamen Rider, Sentai stuff, like, dubs aren't really, I don't know, I'd rather watch it with the original Japanese dialogue and stuff. But by all means, I'm glad they exist, because some people don't like watching subs and they'd rather watch dubs, or if they can't watch subs and they'd rather watch dubs. Perfect. Like, I mean, I hope they keep doing it. The fact they're doing it simulcasting, simuldubs with Ultraman is crazy. I'm so glad they did it with Blazar, doing it with Arc. I assume they're just going to keep doing it. I love it. Please keep doing it. Very cool. That's about it. Like, nothing more than that. What are my thoughts? I'm glad they're doing it. Ken L asks, what's my favorite video from the channel or my favorite to make? Also love the channel. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Favorite video, it's hard to pick a specific video, but the favorite ones I like to make are like the episode 1 reviews, because I feel like that's like I don't know, like the way me personally, when I have like the deadline of like get this done in like a day and it's like a shorter video, like I feel like I just get more creative with that. Like I feel like the edits are a little more creative, the script is a bit more punched up. Like I feel like I just perform really, not that I perform well under pressure, because I really don't. But I feel like those videos I'm able to like, I feel like they're just so much nicer. Not to say I don't think my other videos are nice, but I feel like those are fun to make and I feel like they come out great, and then they do really well. So I think like first episode premiere videos I think are my favorites to make. Speaking of which, episode 1 arc coming soon. Would I like another video game theme for Sentai or Rider, and if so, what would the motifs be? For Rider, probably not, just because they did X8, and I feel like if they did it again, I'd be like, this is just an X8 ripoff. I'd be the old guy being like, this is just a ripoff of another thing. But for Sentai, please, because they did, I know they have Mega Ranger, and Dawn Brothers is kind of video game themed. I haven't seen Mega Ranger, so maybe that's very video game themed, but Dawn Brothers is not very video game themed. Like, it is, like, there's, like, elements to it, but it's not, like, it's based on Momotaro. Like, it's not a video game theme. So I really would love, like, an X8 full-on video game theme. Like, make each Ranger based on a different kind of game, and they could fight differently based on that kind of game. Like, a fighting character Ranger would do all the punches. Like, an RPG Ranger would have the sword. And then the mecha would be fun too, because then you could have all these different like things. Like you could have just like a dude fighting. You could have a dragon for the RPG. What else could you have? Like a platformer Ranger could do like paradox like puzzle stuff, and then their mecha is just like a weird puzzle car or something like that. A driving game, racing game, I guess. Just looking at the X-rated ones. Action. Shooting, you could have a shooting Ranger, and I guess they just have like a jet. Like you could do, the mecha would be cool because you have all these random things you can stick together, but like there's the underlying cohesion of like it's all like video game stuff. This is the last question. Save this for last because it sounds like a final question. At least last of this, I will stick around and we'll answer at least the super chat and some other questions from the chat. What's the end plan for the YouTube channel? What videos do I still want to make? So the final video I will ever make is the Kabuto review and the Zet review and the Kingoger Sentai Potential and the X8 Sentai Potential. I still haven't done that. No, I'm just kidding. I want to make those videos sooner rather than later, but I might have something because I'm like, oh, the new video to make. Let me focus on this, and then the other ones just get shoved further and further back. So I mean, those I'd still want to make, but like I guess end plan, I don't really have an end plan. Like I don't ever have an idea where like this is my final video, everyone, bid me farewell. If I ever did do that, there would be some reason in real life where I can't ever do videos again. But I feel like I would never not do videos again. Like I would do a video like I'm taking a break or something like that, and in like a year I come back and make Kamen Rider 10th Reiwa Super Getja Gitsa combination, and I'll do a review on that, and I'll start making like videos intermittently. Like at the very least, the only thing I would stop is maybe short reviews, and I wouldn't do anything except like episode 1 and like season reviews. But for the time being, like I like doing this. This is fun to do. I like talking to you guys. So end plan, keep doing this until it kills me. Or until it takes down the channel. If they take down the channel, I might just, I don't know, what are you gonna do? But so far we're doing just fine. So that is that. So, there is... Well, first let me take a sip of water because of my... Okay. So, once again, super chat from Seth Inflamed, $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. For the Memorial Kyoryuger Fund and Full Actions Mecha Kyoryuger sets. Thank you for the funding. Yeah, the Memorial Gabu Revolver is definitely something I want maybe eventually. I'd probably just get that. I might just be fine. I don't want the big sword. That's just gonna be annoying to ship and stuff. I don't know where I'd put the gun. I don't know where I'd put a big full-size sword. So I'd probably just get the deluxe because it works with the sword. Or sorry, it works with the memorial gun. For that reason, I think I might just get the DX mini tier if I ever get that. The full actions are cool, but I kind of want the... If I get... See, I have Dino Charge Mecha, so I might just keep that to until I really need Kyoryuger Mecha. But if I get Kyoryuger Mecha, I really want just the full-sized ones. Like, I really want the ones you can put Judenshi in and keep it in there. That's really cool to me. I really like that gimmick. 9 Yearlia official. Where did I get the big Zenkai Majin hanging poster? I got that from... I think Suruguruya. I think that's what that website is called. Because I missed the pre-order for this, and then it sold out on Toku Collectibles, and I was like, no, I need that. And I don't know anywhere else you can find them, other than like used sites. But that's, I mean, you can find anything there. Toku Collectibles is like the really only place I think that sells the poster stuff. Maybe Premium Bandai, but once they're sold out on Toku Collectibles, then it's like, where do you go? So. But yeah, Suruguru, yeah, I got it from them because they had like used stuff. So, isn't Mega Ranger more computer/internet themed rather than video game themed like Tron? No idea. I haven't seen Mega Ranger. That's just what I've heard. It's video game themed. Thomas Jujube 10 years later video. God, that would be... I mean, that's what my... At this rate, we're going to have the 10th anniversary video, and it's going to be that. It's thinking about, like, even we're at 7 years, but, like, 10 years feels like a crazy milestone, so... Final video being a fake wedding between you and Majin as we ride off into the sunset. Thomas Jujube returns. Panic at the Great Power Morphicon. I would cause a panic at Morphicon. Is that what we're saying? Because that's unfortunate. Speaking of Morphicon, I will be at Power Morphicon. I think I've said this before, but if anyone's gonna be there, you can come say hi to me. What's my favorite music artist and my favorite song made by them? So this is a little hard to answer because usually, first of all, I think my favorite song changes like every year. Last year it was like Idol, the Yoasobi song, so I would have said, oh, my favorite artist is Yoasobi. But now I think my favorite song is the Bravern theme. But what am I gonna say? My favorite musical artist is Bravern? In general, I usually listen to like J-pop anime songs. I just like that kind of song. So technically the only actual J-pop artist band I listen to is Rondo. And I like Prayers by them. I guess that's my favorite song from them. So I guess technically them, but that's not my favorite song. But I'm not gonna say my favorite artist is the mecha voiced by a voice actor. So do I think Bandai is gonna repaint Nishigan 1,000,000 times like Mark 9? They repainted Mark 9 immediately. So since there's no Nishigan repaint in the movie, I don't think they are. Maybe they'll do a remold thing. Like, if they didn't do Daybreak Nijigan, I think they're not going to do other Nijigans. Maybe a dark one, but that'll be it. Hope we get a new Super Sentai adapted into Power Rangers. That would be cool. Bai and Neokyo has that site on their proxy. Okay, yeah, so you can get the poster thing. Question, have I seen the Doom Geats movies, and am I planning to make a video talking about it? I have not seen it yet. So, once I do want to make a video on it. I just haven't seen it yet, and I'd like to see it and then go and make my review on it, but I haven't found the time to make a review on it, so that's why I haven't seen it yet. Because I would do a video with the Buffa the buckles, the set of buckles, but I don't know when I'm getting that. I do want it eventually, but I didn't pre-order the Blu-ray. I might have said I did at some point, but I canceled that because I don't want to pre-order it anymore. I just want to see if I can find it cheaper. So yeah. What was the reaction meeting Josh and Este at the last Power Morphicon? It was like the reaction of like, you guys are real? You're not just in my computer? Because I saw Este like walking by and I ran up to him like, Este, hello, hello. And then I saw Josh when I went to his Lightning Collection panel. So that was more of, I was expecting to see him. So, but they both recognized me. So that was more of the cooler thing, like, you guys know who I am. What the heck? Of all 48 seasons of Sentai, which Sentai do I think deserves better and more love? I mean, I haven't seen all of them, so it's hard for me to answer that. Zenkaiger needs more love. What's my favorite Super Sentai mecha / combination? It's a good question, because they're all giant robots, so I like giant robots. I kind of want to say Zenroku Zenkaio because it's the Majin Zenkaiger mecha, but part of what holds me back is it's not a physical suit, and that just bothers me a little bit if it's the Tokusatsu Sentai stuff and the suit's not physical. I'm like, unless it's like I mean, like the weird frog stuff and like Kamen Rider, like you can't make a suit out of that, but like the mecha, it looks like a suit you could make a mecha form out of, or a suit mecha thing. So, that's why I hesitate to say that. I guess I'll just go with, I really like the Maji King, the fire combinations, when, Kai, Maji Red combines with the unicorn and the centaur. Not the centaur, the horse that makes a centaur at some point. Those are really cool. I really like those. Maybe one of those. If I met Vice, what would be the first thing I'd say to him? Like the real, like Vice, the writer. I would just be like, you're real? Do I think they could somehow squeeze in one more phase, or will they just do special releases for the unreleased cards? I assume this is talking about Kamen Rider Gotchard phase EX02. I think this is the last phase, because this is coming out in July. Then there's August, and then Gav comes out. And I don't think there's any like rumblings or listings of a phase EX3 or whatever in August. And then by that point, if you're releasing cards, the previous gimmick cards in Gav, it's possible. I'm not going to say they won't do it, but I don't think they are. I think we would have heard about it. So I do think everything from here on out will be unreleased cards. So if you want the rest of those Daybreak cards, because none of the X cards have Daybreaks, I think that's going to be a premium Bandai set. The rest of the Replis, none of the... No, there's a few. I guess Unicorn is the only fantastic Repli, but I don't think there's any... Oh, no, there's Skyard, I guess. They've done all the X's for Repli Chemis, but I don't think they've done any of, like, the normal... A lot of Occults and Cosmics and Fantastics and Ancients are missing from Repli, so they'll have to do all those. I don't think any of those categories are made in Daybreaks, so they're probably going to do, like, Daybreak finish set, Repli Chemi finish set, something like that. And then Rainbows, I don't know. See, the thing is, we don't know how many other Rainbows they'll do. I guess there's no Rainbows in Phase 02, and we have Mad Pirates. So I guess Rainbow finish set is probably guaranteed at this point. So, Toku streaming on Crunchyroll. Sure. Do I think we will get a new season of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury? No. What's my favorite Smiling Friends episode and or quote? Actually, so I can answer the quote part. I was going to say, I've watched like a couple episodes of Smiling Friends, but I haven't watched like a whole season. But I have seen clips, I guess. So I think I've seen the scene where he goes like, you kiss your father on the mouth. That scene's really great. Like the quote would have to be that part, but the whole scene is great. Would I be up for another Rider and Sentai crossover movie after Superhero Senki? Yes, I would be down for that. Who's my favorite Red Ranger, and then who's my favorite Red Ranger power-up? Favorite Red Ranger would be I guess Juran, right? Senkai Juran. Red Ranger power-up would be Ryusel Red Max. Where's the figure of that? Oh, he's hidden. Okay, I'm not going to get him. Yes, Ryusel Red Max. If we jumping and farting, then are we jarding? Please never ask that again. I love Suruguruya. It's fueling my Chemi card addiction. I didn't know they had Chemi cards over there. Hold on. I should not be doing this. I need to save money. Oh god, they're gonna have a lot of Chemi cards at Morphicon, aren't they? That's really funny. Kamen Rider gotchard. Ooh, I see. Interesting, interesting. Oh, these are just the ones with him on it. So I do. What if I RTX? Interesting. There are a lot of. Okay, no XRX. This may be something to keep in mind in the future. Oh, the parallels. Oh, hello. Zane is pretty cool from Outsiders. I agree. What are my thoughts on Revice? Because I'm about 20 episodes in the show and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I am not a huge fan of Revice. I don't think it's bad. I feel like, honestly, I was just kind of never a huge fan of Revice. From like the first few episodes, I was just like, this is kind of all right. There's like a middle portion where I'm like, oh, they're kind of cooking here, and then it kind of drops off for me. So I don't love Revice, but I think it's a fine show, and I think if you're enjoying it, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Would I marry Majin if she suddenly appeared in real life? So here's the thing. If it's like she suddenly appears here next to me, yes. If she's appearing in Japan, like I have no way of knowing she's in Japan, so I don't know if that would happen. What is my favorite Reiwa rider? If you mean the rider or the show would be Geats. Rider, the character, would maybe be Buffa? No, maybe Saber. Someone from Saber, like Psycho or Sabala. Will the Tonkatsu gang react to Kamen Rider Gav? I don't know. I guess that's up to Keza if we're gonna film Gav reactions. Maybe I'll try to get. Maybe I'll ask if they want to react to episode 1. We could do episode 1, but because Keza's the one she uploads them on her channel, and I mean we just show up and we watch with her, and yeah. So we'll see, because she's also behind on gotchard, so I guess that's why we wouldn't watch gotchard. And I don't think Marcus watches anything unless we watch it with him. If I could be a rider in Geats like Ben and John, what raise buckle would I want to be my base form, or what animal for my decor? So my animal would be a bunny. I assume you saying like Ben and John would mean I'm using a pre-existing buckle. So I guess that means my base form could not be Boost, because I think that seems to go against the logic of the show, because Boost is like the special item. Because I would want a red helmet, of course, but I guess I can't have Boost be my match, be my base form, because that's the special item. I guess maybe I'd just go with Magnum, just because the red would match the red helmet. If I could be an Ultra, what would my Riser and Pose be? Interesting. Actually, I have thought about that, I think, a few times. It would be pretty cool to have like a like a Zet kind of thing, or like Orb, right? Just combine, like I think Orb, Jeed, and Zet as a form would be pretty cool, because they're all like Legacy Fusion Ultra Season, so fusing them as a form I think would be pretty fun. The thing is, I would like it would be cool to be the Ultra, but I think it would also be cool from a merch perspective to be the host, and my changer is voiced by Yume. Miyamoto. I think that would be pretty cool. My rise pose, I don't know, just fist in the air. I don't know. They don't. I mean, Arc holds this out, but a lot of them don't really do a pose that's not just hand in the air. What do I think of Premium DX? At least for Geats, seems like a bit much for me, but clearly it's selling well enough for Bandai to keep pumping them out. I don't know. Like, I'm mixed on the Premium DX thing, because here's the thing. I have all the toys they've announced for Premium DX, I've owned them already. The Magnum Boost set, Ninja, Zombie, like, I mean, you guys have seen, they're in videos. I've owned all of those already, so when they announced it, part of me is like, oh, here's a better version of the toy I have. But a lot of it is, like, better, like, barely. Like the Beat Buckle, the Premium DX Beat Buckle, has very shiny, beautiful, shiny metallic paint. So, like, that looks cool. That would be, like, if I had a choice between the two, that would probably be my preferred version. But the Beat I have right now that I bought not knowing they would make a memorial does everything the Beat Buckle does in the show. If I got the Beat Buckle, the memorial Beat Buckle, all I would get out of it was Nago voices that I can't understand half of them. The shiny paint, of course, which is very nice. That would be the main reason. And, like, the weird, like, click-clack sounds during transformation that I know I can turn off, but I don't want that half the time. I don't really care about that. It sounds annoying. So, and, like, Ninja looks identical. The Memorial Ninja Buckle looks exactly the same. So, like, a lot of them are, like, I see them announce it, and I'm like, oh, okay, more of the same toys I already have. But then I just don't buy it, because I already have it. So, I guess, like, I don't mind they're doing it, because if someone's a big fan of Buffa, they can buy the super show accurate zombie buckle, the fever slot that will make Buffa quotes and make, like, super specific transformation sounds. Like, if you really like Buffa, there you go. That's great for you. I like Buffa, but I don't like him enough to buy the same toy twice, and all I'm gonna get out of it is darker paint, slightly better paint, weirder sounds. So, it's weird, because if you ask me for them to stop it, I probably would say, like, I don't think we need all these Premium DX toys. Like, there is part of me that's like, I feel a little cheaped out, like, oh, I just bought this toy they just remade better, but I got a cheaper version that does everything it needs to. So it's only the ones that, like the Laser Raise Riser, I got the Premium DX one, because they added sounds to that. They added the premium sounds. That was it was annoying to buy the same toy again, but that did something different. If they do, there's talks of a Premium DX Vision Driver. And that's weird, because that's one where it's like, that's a Premium Bandai driver toy we're re-releasing as Premium DX. I know there's some, like, visual stuff they can make a little better. They can add different modes instead of hitting the button multiple times. So, like, there's improvements to be made there. But that's stuff you could have done in the first place, right? You could have made it look, it's a Premium Bandai toy. You could have made it look as good as it should have. Could have added the different modes. But then there's the other side of, like, maybe they'll add the Jamato Gazer sounds. Or Jamato Glare. I don't know if it's Glare or Gazer. But maybe they add the Jamato sounds. There's talks of stuff happening in Outsiders. If Jean uses the Premium DX Vision Driver, and it's the normal Vision Driver, and it makes the new, like, Jean Fox, whatever they call that form. If that's like a normal Vision Driver, and they add that, that's where I'll be like, okay, you're adding a new transformation sound into this. Like, it's not a new Vision Driver. I can get rid of my old one, buy this premium one. So, you know, some of it, it's a bit up in the air. But at least, like, some of the stuff, like Ninja, I get why the Ninja one exists. If you're a super Keiwa fan, there you go. You can get your Keiwa stuff. But, I don't know. I think it's once they start redoing premium stuff, it's like they're gonna add, like, just talks about fantasy. the Vision Driver I talked about, Fantasy, Bujin Sword, Jamato Buckle. I think they're talking. There's like rumors they'll do a premium version of that, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna add sound. I mean, other than the Vision Driver, it's like you're gonna add voice quotes to that and make the paint shinier. That's a premium Bandai toy. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Because they're not gonna add quotes to the DX toys. So I don't know. That went on for too long. I have a lot to say about those, because those are annoying. I mean, they are. I'll just say. I mean, at the end of the day, they are annoying. It's annoying whether or not you're buying the same toy to get the new sounds, or the toy you've already bought is getting released with better paint. Like, it's annoying no matter what. But they're gonna do it, I guess. Like, it's mainly because of the gap in the year, because Geats 9 was only a year old. And wait, no, not even a year old. Geats 9 was not even a year old, and it's getting a super duper premium Bandai version. It's like, okay, like if it was Geats' 10th anniversary and they did all this stuff, cool, 10th anniversary celebration. But it's like not even a year after, and we're getting, or the main buckles too. I kind of get that because that's the end of the show stuff. But just like randomly in the middle of gotchard, here's premium Boost Mark II that does exactly the same things. It's just looks a little nicer. Okay. Do I think we'll get another Super Sentai crossover movie? If you mean like Boonboomger and Gotchard, or sorry, Boonboomger Gotchard, I don't know. I mean, at some point in the future, yes. But if you mean like Boonboomger King Oger, yeah, they'll do that. What's my favorite secondary rider final form? Cross Magma. Would I love to see a Forever Pink team up? Imogene is the leader of the team. Absolutely. Do I think Toku is dying? No. I don't think it's. Maybe it's. I mean, it's not. It's. Is it thriving? Like, we have Kamen Rider's doing fine. Sentai is doing fine. Ultraman is broadcast worldwide on YouTube. There's nothing that indicates it's dying to me. I don't. Unless you mean like a lot of it has to be toy centric now to sell toys. Maybe, but it's not like it's dying. They're doing that to survive, and it's working. So, like, we don't have as much, maybe in the sense we don't have as much, like, random Toku now, like Metal Heroes, like, even Gridman, like, random, not, Toku shows that aren't, like, the main three. Godzilla, we don't even get much, like, Toku Godzilla now. It's just the, like, animation Godzilla stuff. But I wouldn't say it's dying. Who's my favorite Sonic character? I don't know. I've never really... I've seen the two Sonic movies, but I've never thought about who's my favorite Sonic character. I guess... I mean, Tails is fun. He's cute. What about the theme song Beat Buckle version? I hate that thing. I don't want that thing ever. It's just annoying to me. I don't... Like, I get why it exists. I don't... But, like, that's a thing where I see that, I'm like, cool. I don't need that. I never need that. How do I feel about spoilers in Toku? I get kind of annoyed when I see leaks for stuff because I like seeing the show first. That's fair. Honestly, for me, it's weird because it's like an American movie or something, like an Avengers movie. I'm like, no, I don't want to see any spoilers about the movie or anything. But I'm like, let me see Gotchard's final form 9 months in advance, by all means. Let me like, I don't know. I have no way to explain it, but like I love seeing Toku spoilers early, like suit spoilers early, but like I don't want to see Captain America. I didn't want to see Captain America with the hammer ahead of Endgame, which I didn't. But I'm just as an example, like I wouldn't want to see that early. I don't mind seeing Rainbow Gotchard so early, so I have no explanation for it. I like spoilers in Toku. I get why people are annoyed by it though, but yeah, I don't know. It is weird. I can admit it's weird. If Tokusatsu had their own toy collectible exchange like TCG Player or Bricklink, what would I call it and what would I want? How would I want it to work? I would want it to have everything for free, but only for me. And I call it like money pit because you just sink. Well, for me it would be free, but for everyone else you would have to pay money for it. That is kind of what not like a collectible exchange, but that's kind of what Taka has at Kotetsu Toys. He has like a whole gimmick section for each season that has a gimmick. So Get ready for Premium DX gotchard driver Daybreak version. See, that's the thing. That one I get, because it's like it's a red gotchard driver in this show. Like that one, that's a thing in this show. Like that's a unique item. I get making that Premium DX. That's fine. Yeah. I'm not gonna get it, but I understand its existence, and I don't fault its existence. Like, they're not gonna release a red gotchard driver in the toy line, so that's why it's like, yeah, make that Premium DX. You can, I mean, if they stick Daigo's quotes in there, then if they don't, that's where I'm like, that's because then they're just gonna do a memorial, and that's stupid. But if they don't have to make it a memorial, but if they put quotes in there and stuff, that would be cool. Thank you, Blobfish sucks at things. LPPPPPP, who's my favorite Sixth Ranger? I mentioned this in the main Q&A part. I landed on Zox. Zox, I've decided, is my favorite for now. If I recall, Ultraman Arc theme song is the best. Same with Blazar theme song. Oh, I'm not sure who that's in response to, but yeah, the theme song is pretty cool. I think I like Blazar's a little more, but Arc's is pretty good. Who's my favorite gotchard character so far? It's a hard choice because none of them are really bad. But I liked Spanner, but now he hasn't done a lot recently. Maybe I'll have to wait on like their final form debuts to really see. I liked Legend a lot, but I feels like a cop out because he's just kind of cool. I don't want to say he's cool. He has like 3 episodes of screen time, and he's just kind of fun to watch. But I don't want to say he's better than anyone else. Yeah, I don't know. What will be my Kamen Rider title in the series if I have one? Kamen Rider Red Star. Kamen Rider Geats show had a lot of arcs. I want Boonboomger with Geats, with Dawn Brothers, with Zenkaiger, and a 2v1 or 3-parter with Boonboomger. That would be cool. What would be my Zenkaiger OC Ryu Kaiser's super form? I think the thing I was imagining was like a little train thing that you push a button and it like looks like the Magi King Phoenix. Sorry, that would be Magi Legend. The Magi Legend Phoenix and the Magi Shine train like combined as like a gimmick. But it would be like the Zenkaiju gear. So you stick it on the gear twinger and then transform, and it would turn Ryu Kaiser into like give him like the Super Zenkaiser like mecha suit kind of thing based on, but it kind of looks like Magi Legend and the Magi Shine mecha that I can't remember the name of. So it'd be that combined, and it would be like that. But Majin could use it too, and it would just make her look like Magi Phoenix and Magi Legend kind of, and then those two would combine in a new form that I can't remember. I think it would combine with like the sword weapon too that I had. I don't know. I might rework that thing at some point, but I don't know. Toku leaks are like a culture at this point. This is true. Gav leaks came so fast, like the week the logo or the name of the show came so fast. The main form, I was not happy to see Gav base form so fast. That's fair. That's just kind of how this goes now, though. I mean, well, to be fair, Gav is kind of different because I don't think we saw Gotchard's like helmet. We got drawings of his helmet and stuff, but we never saw the base form until it got leaked. That whole leak thing is so funny to me. Geats, we got like some images of the stuff, but we never really saw them until the reveal. But Gav, we had set leaks of Gav, so we kind of knew what Gav looked like when the show debuted. That's why I think it's so weird that when Gav leaked, so many people were like, "Oh, looks AI generated." It's like I think people were saying that because some people were AI generating. Okay, there were leaks. We got leaks of the Gav suit, so we knew what it would look like. Some people made AI images based on those, I think, and those looked like AI because it was AI. But then the actual suit looks like the AI thing because they're based on the same like mock-up. So it's just kind of weird to me. So many people were like, "Oh, Gav looks like he's AI. He looks like the AI riders that we've been getting." Yeah, because they're based on the same thing. They used AI to make the suit based off the leak. So that's just a little tangent. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. People are like, "Oh, this looks like AI." It's not, but I don't know. Especially with like all the AI stuff, like I think it's kind of weird to have a whole crack team of designers and suit makers make this, and then someone just goes, "Ooh, artificial intelligence." What Kamen Rider has the best civilian name? For me, it's Kuragane Spanner. I mean, being named Black Steel Spanner is pretty, like, whoa. Like, I can't think, like, because everyone else is, like, I don't know, Kuroto Dan. His name is Dan. That's funny. I mean, his name is Kuroto, but X-Aid was a time because everyone just called him Dan because they didn't realize that was his last name. I'm trying to think. No one in X-Aid really has a, like, wow, other than Kuroto. Geets would be, like, I mean, Ukyo Ace, just the name Ace is kind of crazy. Like, his name is just Ace. Like, it's not a nickname. That's just his name. So, like, that is a crazy civilian name, but it doesn't have Black Steel Spanner in front of it. Neon is kind of a crazy name, too. Like, her name is just Neon, the light. And I know the pun going on there, but, like, just her in-universe, her name is just Neon. Keiwa's name is pretty funny, too, just because he wants world peace. And Sakurai Keiwa sounds like Sekai Heiwa, I think, which is world peace in Japanese. So that's pretty fun. But I think, yeah, I guess we'll just go with Black Steel Spanner. If I was in the Sentai Rider or Ultra Show in an episode or movie, what would I want to be called in the movie? Geets was a movie trailer for Winter Movie 2022 with Revice with Ryuki. Oh, like if I'm the guest star? I mean, I guess it would just be like with Thomas Jujube. Or with Kamen Rider Red Star, you know. If I was to do my own Sentai with Majin, what would be the theme, colors, and other members of the team? I can't even come up with that. That's... Okay, well, let's see. She would be... Okay, would I be red and she's red? Or we both red? Is she red and I'm... Does she just stay pink? Because it would be kind of cool if she's red, but I'd also want to be red. Or I could be gold. I could be gold red, like 2 Kaiser, but then I'd be like a 6th Ranger, and that's like weird, but... Other members of the team... I mean, any, like... I think I get asked a question like, oh, if I had to make a team of Sentai. I think I answered that one in the January Q&A video for this year. So I guess just pick that and throw me in there. Yeah, let's see. We've been going for 2 hours, about over 2 hours now. So I'm probably going to go for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to go and record an Ultraman Arc video. I mean, do absolutely nothing. Rip Kamen Rider Winger. Yeah, Winger is never happening, but I love that. If I was in Super Sentai, my henshin gimmick would be a phone. Phone gimmicks are pretty cool. We haven't had a phone gimmick in a while, have we? Yeah, I guess since Ju-Oger, but it was a cube that turned into a phone, so it wasn't exactly a phone. What was that before then? Ju-Oger, Ninja, Tokuger. I guess Tokuger with the 6th Ranger phone, but that was a 6th Ranger phone. It wasn't all their phones. Tokuger, Kyuryuger, I guess gotchard was the last cell phone morpher we had, unless I'm forgetting something drastic. So yeah, I guess that's funny. They did the gotchard cell phone, and they're like, we're not gonna do any other cell phones again because everyone's gonna love this one. I'm not caught up on Boonboomger. Should I be? I think Boonboomger is pretty cool. It depends how much you like. Like, it's a very it is a basic Sentai, but it does it very well. It does the basic Sentai thing very well. So, yeah, if you like basics, if you like not to say it's basic, that sounds bad, like, oh, it's so basic. Like, it goes back to basics, but it does it very well. So if you like good Sentai, then if you like watching good shows. Would I still love Majin if she was a different color Kikinoid? This feels like a very charged question. Like, if I answer this wrong, it'll be very bad for me. So we'll say yes. Like, if she was red. I'm surprised Arc Cube is still the second electronic gimmick ever for Ultraman after Hyperkeys. Yeah, it is funny we didn't have any electronic gimmicks after or before Trigger, right? Yeah, Hyperkeys, and then the cube. It's weird. The cubes don't do anything. They still read. Both of those still are read by their changer device. I don't know. I don't have either of those. Favorite Transformers opening. Am I allowed to include the Japanese openings? Because then it's the Transformers animated Japanese opening. Actually, it might be just both of those animated openings. I feel like those are both. Because my favorite show is Prime, but the theme. Let's be honest, the theme song's kind of okay. Like as a theme song, it's a good piece of music, but as a theme song, does not hit. So I think, yeah, I guess we'll just go with, I mean, it's Japanese animated, but basic animated is also probably the best. Basic animated isn't like American animated. I apologize, my nose is it's going to kill me. One of these days, my nose is just going to beat the end of me. Favorite, oh no, I already read that one. Do I think we need more mecha with wings or capes? Absolutely. I didn't really think about it until you've asked this question, but we don't have enough Sentai mecha with capes. With wings as a cape too. Like, do the same thing. I feel like, because does Maji King's wings fold up, right? They're not there if it's not expanded. That could have been a cape. Wing cape, a cape, yes. We need more Sentai mecha with capes. What would I change if I wrote Osama Sentai King Yojir? I would make it good. I would, but I feel like if I had to pick, because there's a lot I would change that I kind of mentioned in my review that kind of will come through in my Sentai potential. I feel like if I had to pick one thing, I change the second arc, and I think I would just make the Galactic Insects more interesting. I think I would make Grody I would make Grody Duga dead. And that I would make well, actually, I feel like the space thing, I don't think we need the space thing. I feel like if you made the Galactic Insects like hyper evolved Bugnrock, maybe that works a little better. But let's just say we keep the space thing because it is pretty integrated into the show. I think if you just make Grody Duga dead, so you get rid of Grody as a side villain and you make either Duga dead does everything Grody did, or Grody himself is just what Duga dead is. Because I feel like it's very weird to have this big Fury of the Gods event and to have Grody be the one who did it, but at the same time be like, Duga dead is the one who did it. Like, Duga was there, but Grody was doing everything. I don't know, very weird. Just make them the same character. Thoughts on Kamen Rider hoaxes like Cube 01 and Winger? Cube 01 is so funny to me. That's my answer. Like, the fact that whole thing happened is so funny. Listen to Galaxy Force Ignition or the first Micron Densetsu one. I will give that a listen then. Thank you. Am I going to try and Zenkai Majin Ranger Key when Zenkaiger Key Set and other Sentai team get announced? I think I mentioned this in the main part of the Q&A. But yes, whenever they announce a Majin Ranger Key, I will have to get it. I will buy it. It is to be determined. It depends on how they release it. Because like if they do like a Memorial Zenroku Eagle with the Ranger Keys for whatever reason, I'd probably just buy that whole thing. Just keep that. If they did like a Memorial Key Set with all the Zenkaigers and a bunch of others, like if it's just a solo Zenkaiger set, I might buy that. But they're not going to do that. It's going to have a bunch of other Ranger Keys. But I don't really want other teams of Ranger Keys. But also, I don't know. It would be nice to have. I don't know. But I will get the key. I will get the key. Am I watching an older Sentai Rider? I am watching Kyoryuger right now. Not watching any older Riders right now, but I am watching Kyoryuger. And it's cool. I like Kyoryuger. What Sentai and Rider would I change? All of them. I'd make them better. Hello, Toku fans of the Tokuverse. Hello. Do I know anything about another Henshin's and Dragons season? Yes, I do. I I don't know if you follow the Twitter or not. Oh, the question was deleted, but I'll answer it anyways. The Twitter on Henshin and Dragons has been a little active recently because there is a new season happening. So I do know there is a new, yes, I can say there is a new season happening. But they're waiting until all the episodes are recorded to be released. But it is happening. There is a new one. So if you were interested in that, there you go. For all the gripes with King Gotchard, I will say it's the most invested I've ever been in Sentai for a while. The setting and characters are just so interesting. I love Jeremy and Yalma. Yeah, I mean, me not liking King Gotchard, I'm definitely in the minority. Because, like, everyone I see seems to love Kyoryuger. Not Kyoryuger. Well, yes, Kyoryuger. But, I mean, King Gotchard. Everyone seems to like King Gotchard. My comments, a lot of my comments were like, you just said you don't like it and didn't give any reasons why. And it's like, well, I did. It's, like, the whole video. I get why people really like it. It's just for me, I'm like, no, it didn't work for me. I won't do what Keza did with keys. I don't know what that's referring to. Which one do I like better so far, Kyoryuger or Dino Charge? I think I will have to... I think I might have to give a little bit of it to Kyoryuger. I feel like... I don't know, but it's hard because I feel like Dino Charge, from where I'm at in Kyoryuger, Dino Charge is pretty much on par. Like, I feel like they're pretty similar to each other. If anything, there's a lot of stuff I feel like Dino Charge does better than Kyoryuger. Not to get super in depth, but, like, I feel like some of the mechas usages and the debuts and stuff is a little more interesting in Dino Charge. But I do like the way Kyoryuger, like, they feel so different but so similar. Like, this is... It feels like really what Sentai adaptation should be. Like, they're taking a lot of the basic concepts and character concepts of Kyoryuger, but making something very unique out of it. So I can watch Kyoryuger and be like, oh yeah, this is this in Dino Charge. It's like this, but like different. So yeah, I know, very hard for me to decide right now. I'm not done with Kyoryuger. So once I'm done with Kyoryuger, I'll figure it out. Thoughts on weapons that become gimmicks like the Rolling Stamp, Raise Riser, and Excalibur. I think it's very cool. I mean, the Laser Raise Riser I think is the coolest version of that because it's like the whole gun. like the Excalibur and the Rolling Stamp are like weapons that become gimmicks, kind of. I mean, that's what the Raise Riser... I don't know. The Raise Riser is a transformation device. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's a transformation device that works independently as a transformation device, then becomes a gimmick. That's the best usage of that, in my opinion. But the Rolling Vice Stamp is kind of just a gimmick that's a weapon. The Excalibur is pretty cool, because it's like a whole driver piece that can also become a weapon. For a series review, how long does it take me to make a video? Depends on the series, as in, like, the episode, the ones that I make right after a show ends, those happen a little quickly, like maybe a week or two. Like ones I've done after, the legacy ones, which I haven't done in a while, but those usually take a little. It depends, because it's like I could release it now, or I could take a bit of time and work on it. So, yeah. Will I buy one or both of the crossover toys from King Gotchard? I'm not buying either of them. I bought this thing, and then it was like on Buy without the DVD for like half the price, and I would have rather bought it like that. I just didn't think it would be so cheap without the DVD. So that's partly why I canceled my Buff of Plosion Rage pre-order, because I'm like, I guess I could just find it cheaper when it comes out. But also, I don't have any King Gotchard toys. I don't have any... I guess I have this Dawn Brothers toy, but I don't want... They're both repainted King Gotchard toys, so no, I'm not buying those. Ultraman Arc has done more Ultra Beams than Blazar did in one show. Yes, in one episode, Arc has done just as many Ultra Beams as Blazar has. That's really funny. Did I hear that Decades actor is having season 2 of Sentika Jizuriz? I think I did hear that. That's good for him. I haven't watched any of that. And I don't know if I will, but I'm glad he's having fun doing his thing. And that'll be, yeah. Friendly reminder to drink water. Thank you. Water hydration reminder. top 5 Zenkaiger episodes. Episode 45, episode 16, episode 3. What's episode 30 something? I forget when the one they used Maji Ranger in, the one that Majin was with the girl, whatever that one was. I forget that one. Actually, that one might be better than 3. No, 3 is, yeah, so 45, 16, 3. 16, I'm assuming 16 is the occult one. I don't exactly remember, but the occult one, the child one, or the debut, the child one, and I guess the one with Don Momotaro, because that's pretty awesome. Years later, I still can't believe they did that. Like, debuting the next year's season in the show, like, months before the press conference, doing a combination mecha form, having, like, a full-on fight scene, too, interacting with the Rangers. Like, they just did a Rider cameo thing in the Sentai show, like, 2 months before it would happen in Rider. Like, crazy. Like how the 2 saber things I own, you own, I don't have. I needed to support Go Blue and Shinken Gold. Oh, the Blade Driver and the Omniforce. Yeah, those are the two transformation devices I don't have. Yeah, that is true. I will need to get them eventually. I'd like to complete my Saber collection. I mean, if I get those 2, I'd be pretty... That would basically be the end of my Saber collection, I think, right? Oh, I would need Wonder Almighty, too, I think. And then, yeah, that would be the end of my Saber collection for the most part. I might go and get some of the little Gashapon books, but not a huge deal. How do I get my source of income outside of YouTube? I don't know. Majin summoned Magi Yellow in the stage show. I did watch that stage show. I did watch that. That was cool. Would I like to see a Sentai season, but everything is based on a regular everyday items and the mecha is made of random material? That could be fun. They seem to know what they're doing over at Toei, so by all means. Thoughts on Kamen Rider Hibiki as a whole? I haven't seen it. What do I think is the defining aspect of Heisei era of Kamen Rider? I mean, Heisei Phase 2 is kind of like the introduction to gimmicks. I don't know. There's not really a defining aspect other than the introduction of multiple riders, but even then, like, Double only has 2 in the show, so... What do I think of the Dread Driver? Quite a bit of people seem to not like it, but I think it's okay. I actually like the Dorado Driver more. Doraiva, yeah. The Dorado Driver I definitely like more. I don't really like the Dread Driver. It's the... I mean, it and the Dorado Driver are the 2 drivers I don't care for ever getting. I just don't like the look of it. The sounds are fine or whatever. Simple as that. Will I be buying the new X items? Absolutely, yes. Yes, the V-Cinema books. I will need the V-Cinema books. And Tassel's book. I forgot about Tassel's book. I don't have that. I wouldn't need that. Gotchard can do a Dawn Brothers and Zenkaiger thing with Gav because of how Legend works. I assume... Do you mean, like, Legend summoning Gav? Because that would be fun. I would like that. King Gojo had 2 thing at Dawn Brothers Mecha, then King Gojo Monster of the Week by the first Monster of the Week. Yes. Mm-hmm. I really like the smartphone and Kamen Rider 5's 20th anniversary movie. Yeah, that's a cool thing. I don't know, that thing, I like looking at it as a CSM toy. Granted, I would have never bought it even if it wasn't $500. But part of me is looking at that and like, at what point is this too much? Like, I know it's an adult collector toy, but like 500, like even you have to be a Super Fives fan that's very rich to buy that, because you're just buying a phone, but it's not working as a phone. So I don't know. It's cool. I'm glad they did it, but part of me is like, when is this too much? When do you go too far with CSMs? Would I like to see a Sentai themed after holidays? That could be fun. I feel like maybe it's a little restrictive because it's like you get the Christmas guy, the Halloween guy. I mean, I guess it's not restrictive. You have enough, but it could be. Yeah, sure, it would be funny. We need another Sentai Mecha toy with the Lego system from Ryu Soldier. That would be really fun. That would be really fun. I like that Dorado. Saying it, I know you're saying Dorado driver, but the way their katakana is Doradoraiba, I think, which flows very nicely. But saying it in English is not. That doesn't work. So I guess I just say Dorado driver. Dorado driver. I like that it doesn't have the visible light. The visible right card slot and handle doesn't make empty space when opened. I think. Have we seen the opening yet? No, we haven't. But yeah, I mean, I guess if it's closed, it's like a complete driver, and then I think it's supposed to open, and it'll make it the final form of the boss of the show. So yeah. I think with that, I went a little longer than I was expecting to, so I think I'm going to leave it there. So once again, a few reminders. Link in the description. I saw some people asking about Discord, the merch. Check that Twitter, Instagram, all linked in the description. My Patreon is also there for $2. You'll get my Ultraman Arc review as soon as I'm done recording it, which I'm gonna do like now. And as soon as the video is done, of course, as well. You'll also, right now, you get like 2 gotchard exclusive stuff that will go public eventually, but right now I don't know when, so they're exclusives for now. And any and all future exclusive stuff that I have done, will do, all gonna be up on Patreon. If you can't support me on Patreon, check out those other links I said, and just subscribe to the channel. And thank you guys so much for leaving the questions that I answered earlier, and asking some questions here now, and for the 7 years I've been doing this. Still, honestly, still sometimes a little hard to believe that I can just pop open a stream here and answer questions people ask me in the chat. Very, for lack of a better word, I'm very blessed to be able to do this, even if it's not like the highest paying job. I'm just glad to be able to do this. I'm glad I can do this. So I hope you guys continue to keep supporting me for another 7 years. Once we get to 10 years, and I'm like, for another 10 years, that's really gonna hit like a crazy way. Maybe I should start building up. I should start doing like a storyline, building up to a 10-year anniversary video. What do we think of that? I don't know. I'm rambling now, so yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.